Hello everyone, this is Anthony with Inkwise Studios, and this is uh, my first video. I'm just going to be doing some, I guess you can call them Let's Ink videos. And in these videos, I'm just going to ink like either panels or excerpts from pages, just to, I guess for the most part, just ramble on about, the things that I have in my head about inking and, you know, I'm not I guess I don't necessarily want these to be instructional per se. I mean, I guess they would have some instructional value, but I guess it's just a place to dump my rambling. So if you're a fan of rambling, then continue to watch. But in this first video, I'm just going to be inking this figure. This is Terrax the Tamer. This is a panel excerpt from a page by Ed McGuiness. I think the book was called Point One, and it was a prequel comic to Avengers versus X-Men, most recent summer crossover. When I say most recent, it was kind of like last year. But either way, I'm going to be inking Terrax, and I'm just going to go over the tools that I use. I use a few different tools. I am primarily a brush inker. So the main tools that I use mostly Raphael brushes, like a Raphael 8408 number 0. See this? 8408 number 1. Let me actually put it in front of the camera. I use a Raphael 8408 number 3. And the last two are actually 8404, so sorry. Then a Raphael 8404 number 4. So, yeah. All right. And I also use a Winsor Newton Scepter Gold 2 number 3, just for my whites and corrections and stuff like that. And also to fill blacks, I'll use this kind of crappy brush. It's actually a Escoda Optimo number 4 if you're interested. I had higher expectations for that brush, but it turned out to not be that good. So I just use it to fill blacks. I don't think I'll get my money's worth with that brush. But either way, I also use, instead of nibs, because I really, at this point in time, I guess, I really suck at nibs. So I kind of use substitutes. For right now, at least. And my main substitute are the orthographic liners. Right now I'm using like the number 2 and the number 3. Those come in handy. They kind of feather a little bit. Like when I lay down a line, like the line will start to blur a little bit. I don't really like that, so I'm trying to find a workaround for that. Maybe use different paper, or if not, find a different tool to use. But for right now, those are what I use. And if you're wondering, I got those from jetpens.com. The brushes I all got from various places online, mostly like Amazon or dickblick.com. So either way, let's start with the inking. So with this piece, I took this excerpt because I'm actually inking a sample page for where this image comes from. I'm inking a sample page of that page, and I just wanted to take an excerpt from that page instead of showing you what I have going on the main page. So the way I usually start with inking a figure, and of course I like inking the figure the most, I usually start by spotting my blacks. And if you're not aware of what spotting blacks is just basically finding all the solid black areas on the page. Like, this will be a solid black area under his chin. This will be a solid black area on his leg, right here. Just to make sure you can see, like under his fist where there's a cast shadow right there. Various other places. I basically outline those with my brush, those areas, and then I'll fill with an X, and I'll show you what that is in just a second. And what that does for me is it kind of weighs down the figure. It allows me to see how the rendering is going to go, because once I spot my blacks and I put in my feathers, basically from there all I have to do is just fill my blacks and then do my contour lines and I'm done. I may not necessarily always do it in that order, but typically I like to spot my blacks first. So enough with the rambling. Let's get on to the inking. So let's start with this large black area under his chin. And I'll just start by outlining that. And I guess also I'll try not to block the camera, but I always turn the page. I never ink the page like straight ahead like this and just ink like that. I always turn the page because I always want to get the same stroke no matter what angle the image is at. It gives me more control. And let me see. Also, I don't do what's called like petting the line. I don't, try to get back in frame here. I don't pet the line by like going like this. I just try to get one smooth line like that. And it gives me more of a line contour. Gives me more line weight because I can control by my hand pressure the amount of give that the line has, like from the thick to the thin transition. I have more control over that because it's all in one stroke instead of petting at the line and trying to go all like that like I'm sketching. And I try not to even do that when I'm penciling because I like clean lines. I like crisp lines. And you don't get crisp lines by, scratching at the line or whatever. I mean, I may do it in layout stage, but I try not to do that. Just try to get clean lines. So like I said, at this point I'm just kind of spotting blacks, outlining the areas of black. And incidentally, when you spot blacks, you will be putting in some what are called contour lines. Contour lines are just the lines around the figure that kind of hold it down, or you could call them holding lines. It's like this around his head would be a holding line. This on his shoulder pad would be a holding line. Things like that. So just kind of do it all together. It's not rigid. I guess I would like for it to be more rigid than it is as far as the process. You spot your blacks first, then you do your contour lines, and then you put in your feathers, and then you fill your blacks. It doesn't always work out that way, but I wish it would work out that way sometimes, just for efficiency's sake. And I guess I'm just trying to get more efficient on my inks. Efficiency is important to me. So right now I'm just kind of... By the way, this paper's not the best. I actually got this from Walmart. Well, no, it wasn't Walmart. It was Office Depot. I got it from Office Depot, and it said vellum Bristol. And I was like, I don't believe them. So, I bought it anyways, like a sucker, and it works okay. Like if I'm doing like free sketches, like I do first Saturday of every month here in my hometown. If I do free sketches, they're good for that, but they're not really good to like work off of per se. I actually prefer to buy the Bristol in a pack and use that. And it's more costly that way, but it's a better stock of paper. And I always believe that you do need to be smart about buying art materials, but you do need to at the same time buy quality. because buying quality is important. Okay. Just try to make sure you guys see this because I know I keep pulling it out of the frame. It's just me trying to get the right stroke on the figure. And I hope my hand's not in the way. I'm just trying to pull my hand back every once in a while so you can see what I'm kind of doing. And right now, it's like I may fill in the blacks a little bit, but not too much. The main thing is just to get these lines down. So anytime there's a contour line that runs through like a large black area, I'll just do the contour line. And I've been trying to train my hand just to give one smooth stroke like that. And I may doctor up the line a little bit. Like if I stroke and then it's like the line weight is uneven, I'll try to fix it like what I'm doing right now. I know that's not ideal. That's kind of the way I do it. I know that's not quite the correct way to do it, but it's the way I'm inking right now. Alright, so let me see. So I got this area. Let's start with this helmet thingy that he wears. So I'll start here. I don't want my hand. My hand's kind of in the way. Yeah, I try to get the stroke right the first time when I stroke with the brush, because if it's right the first time, it's usually when it looks the best. It's usually when I have to fix the line or go back over it again and again is when it gets worse. So I try to get it right the first time. That helps with speed too. It's very important to ink quickly, because time does really equal money in this industry. And by the way, I'm not necessarily a professional inker. I am still kind of in the aspiring stage, I guess you could call it. I mean, I'm professional in the technical sense of the word, as in I've inked a page for a project and gotten paid for it. But I'm not professional in what people typically think about a professional, which is, you work for Marvel or DC, Dark Horse or IDW or some other company. Image, I'm not that guy. Like I said, just trying to dump, and talk about inking and whatever and random thoughts. Kind of like a, Let's Play. Because my inspiration for this was like the Let's Plays that I watch on YouTube. And I was like, well, there's, I see people putting up, like art tutorials and stuff like that. And it's like, when you watch a Let's Play on YouTube, you're not necessarily, you could watch it as a tutorial, but, a lot of the Let's Plays that I like to watch are mostly for the commentary. Because 9 times out of 10, the Let's Plays that I watch, I've already played the game, so I don't really need a walkthrough unless I've missed something. So this is more so just, I guess you could watch it just for the commentary, just to see my thought process when I ink stuff, and like how I approach a page. You also, listen to me talk about random stuff that's going on. So just trying to grab his eyes here, his brow. Like I said, you're incidentally, when you're spotting blacks, going to grab some contour lines, things like that. This image is actually a bit larger than the panel size. So I have to kind of change up my stroke a little bit. Not too much. It's not like a huge change, but like I do have to think a little bit differently about how I'm stroking, because I usually stroke small, you know, on the main page. You know, it's a lot smaller. It's got all stuff all out of frame, sorry. And I like to move my page around a lot because it, you know, it's like a pinwheel. I have it moving all around, whatever. So, let's see. Let's grab this right here. And we'll grab this mouth. And for those of you who don't know exactly what inking is, I will definitely be ranting about, you know, the ups and downs, the joys and the perils of being an inker. It's like Rodney Dangerfield. You just get no respect sometimes. You know, there are definitely people in the field who respect you. There are people who, you know, who just like you, who may respect your craft. Most people don't necessarily know what I do when I explain it to them, so I just usually just tell them, you know, I'm a comic book artist, and that's usually enough. If they want me to go into detail, then I'll kind of tell them, you know, I don't want to lie to them, but most people don't understand. I haven't had the chasing Amy problem just yet. Those guys, I've never had someone come up to me and, oh, you're a tracer. Never had that problem yet. Most people are pretty cool about it, even if they don't understand it per se. I think I say per se a lot. I need to stop that. Either way, I have had people like wonder about what I do, how it's profitable, but I guess I don't really ink because it's profitable. It can be, I suppose, if you work very hard, but most guys who I admire, who I look up to, and who I study and try to keep close tabs on, they don't really do it for the fame or the money or the lucrativeness of inking. Most of them who have money actually do other stuff besides inking. They do it for the passion, and I guess I'm really passionate about inking. Is just that part of comics that catches my interest. It's like, I know a lot of guys who are captivated on the penciling part, and I am too. I like good pencils. Good pencils are always good. But I found that, you know, when I was trying to figure out, you know, the best way for me to get into the industry, you know, I was like, well, what really piques my interest? And, you know, I had thought about it, and the main thing that piques my interest was, you know, inking mainly. So just kind of stuck with that. All right. So I'm just inking this head here. I think I'm going to cut this video short real quick because I don't want it to go on too long. But in the next video, I'm going to be inking the rest of the head here. I'm going to be spotting some more blacks down here probably, just to show you more of my process instead of getting lost in the details. So thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.